welcome. It is that time again. The bell is tolling for you liberals, progressives, neocons, and anyone who is against liberty. Yes, this is the Tea Party's favorite flag, but it's not just for the Tea Party. It's for all those who believe like me, the evil conservative, that we need to come together as a nation and stop the crap that's going on. Yep, I'm back. Just when you thought it was safe to hide behind your own Facebook pages and everything else. And of course, I will never forget my buddies in DC. If you want to focus in on that.
If I can.
Can you focus in on that?
Trying.
It says, screw you, NSA. And yes, you know who you are, NSA.
Oh, okay.
You'll be able to see this later on. I'm sure you'll be watching it. And I'll tell you this, NSA. I'm holding up 3 fingers. Guess which one I'm thinking of when I think of you. Guess which one I'm looking at. There's a hint. There. Oh. I'll keep it PG this week. I won't do it. But I'll give you a hint. It's like this. And then this starts to come down. So you figure it out. Anyways, got a lot to talk about today. I even actually made a list and wrote stuff down because Sexy Camera Lady was going to talk about this stuff too, because she's all fired up too, aren't you?
No, I am.
She is. First thing we're going to get to and talk about is good old Bammy, our buddy, our fearless emperor, and his emperorization of America. Yes, that's right, folks. There's no more need for the Constitution or anything like that. He's just going to run roughshod over everybody and pull in his executive privileges. Well, guess what, Barry? We're not all on board with your bullcrap, okay? Especially your Affordable Care Act, which is a joke. And I can tell you from my own personal experience, just from my own prescriptions from my insurance plan, have gone up. Now, I'm sure people across America are feeling the same effects if they have insurance and can say and is testify. And if you see this on Facebook and you agree, hey, get on there, do your own video, be the evil conservative in your area. You know what I mean? It's not just a name, it's not just a person, it's a movement, and that's what we need to make it. Why do I call myself evil? For those of you who may be watching for the first time, I reference my Christianity, which I am a Christian, and I know some of you aren't. That's fine, we can agree to disagree. But the Bible talks about in the end times, that which is good will appear evil, and that which is evil will appear good. I believe our country has been infected and infested with political correctness to the point where you can't call what's right, and call what's wrong, wrong. Me personally, and Lord forgive me, I call that bullshit. Political correctness is wrong in its own, it's bullshit, basically. That's what I think. But that's what I think of political correctness. Back to Obamacare, Affordable Care Act, and how you were going to be able to have your own insurance if you liked it, and you didn't have to worry about it. Well, guess what? You may be able to have your own insurance, but the prices ain't staying low, I can tell you that.
Mm-mm.
I had one prescription that I just filled. That was, thankfully I got some assistance on it, but if I wouldn't have had assistance on it, I believe the price was going to be $240, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Or $239 and some change, I'll round up. But still, that's like about, I don't know, $230 more than I planned on paying, if you know what I mean. So I was like, yeah, let's not do that. But, you know, what is today? As we record this, today is April the
8th, I think.
April the 8th, 7th or 8th. Yeah, the 8th, as I see on my computer. It's beginning to be that time of the year where everybody feels so good because they filed their taxes. They got their money back.
Yay!
Yeah, guess what? You shouldn't have had to give the money up in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And that money you could have used the whole year trying to help your family and feed your kids and take care of maybe take care of your own self. You gave it to Uncle Sam and Uncle Barry.
Mm-hmm.
And what did they do with it? Well,
a trip. We're going on a trip.
Exactly that, and some other things. The funny thing, I had to talk about this because I had a friend that shared something from a liberal page about how this country calls it, if you don't want to use your taxes to help other people or help poor people, then you can't call this a Christian nation. Who did they quote this from? Mahatma Gandhi? No. some wise philosopher? No. He quoted Jimmy Carter, okay? Let's go back and rewind first of all. You're quoting one of the worst presidents in American history. At one point he was the worst until this guy got into office, the current Yahoo. Okay? That's number one. Number two, what happened to all these poor people before 1913? You say, but Tim, taxes has been around forever. Well, no, it hasn't. Federal income tax did not start until 1913. So if it happened before 1913, the poor people probably, well, I don't know, may have went to a local food bank or church or charitable organization for assistance. Helping people out in charity. That used to be something that everyone strived to do, whether they were Christian or not Christian. People, non-Christian organizations did that kind of stuff. But now, you think that your tax money is going to that? I got a big news flash for you. See, there's this thing called Afghanistan, Iraq, the national debt. We are currently around $17 trillion in debt. So basically, your tax money is going to stop. It's kind of like using a Band-Aid to close up a bleeding artery. It ain't going to work, but we're still trying to do it. And the thing of it is, the government, in its wisdom, has joined up with the Federal Reserve. Well, the Federal Reserve holds the notes on our debt, basically, them and China. And we are on a slippery slope, folks. People talk and laugh about people saying, oh, well, that's a conspiracy, you're just a conspiracy theorist. Yeah, wasn't that, I'd say about 2 years ago, people were laughing at people like me who supported Ron Paul and were against the national parties, and were telling people that you're being spied on. Well, we're not being spied on, you don't know what you're talking about. And then this guy named Edward Snowden had the guts to come forward
Woohoo, yeah.
and show us that, yes, indeed, congratulations, guess what? That tin hat should be worn for a reason, because you are being spied on. And
Every day, every hour,
us, folks,
every
not
minute.
just America, but we're
Every second.
spying on our allies as well. We're spying on people that are supposed to be our friends. That's why I hold this little note up for you, good old NSA. Again, screw you, NSA. It says that it also has been stated that Facebook has been infiltrated by NSA people, and NSA watches our Facebook page.
Yeah.
Go ahead, NSA, I dare you to copy my page, do whatever you want. You can see whatever I have to say, because I'll tell you straight to your face, you're all a bunch of dirtbags and you ought to be ran out of town.
Yeah.
With the NSA, I call it SSDD, same stuff, different day. There's other expressions for that, but we won't go into those. We'll keep it PG, as I said. We'll try to keep it PG. But another thing that I want to go back to is taxes, because folks, basically what we're doing is when we're paying taxes, we're being stolen from. We're being robbed. We're being hijacked, We're paying for stuff that, quite frankly, if we thought about it, we wouldn't want our country to do or have, And I know people say, well, you got to pay taxes. Well, they didn't have to pay taxes before 1913. Yeah, you still have your taxes that can do a lot more and still keep our country afloat. You can have a sales tax, a national sales tax at a small percentage. That way everybody is involved. Because the rich are going to cry, the poor are going to cry, both sides are going to cry about having to do something. Well, you know what? If you make it a flat tax on serviceable goods or usable goods, everybody pays their fair share. It's all the same price, so you don't have the gouging that goes on. I believe in a free market, and earning what you earn it, you should keep it. Again, another thing I believe we need to get rid of is Social Security. As far as if you're at the age of 45 or under, you should have the ability to keep your Social Security and take whatever the government's taken from you all these years. For me, when I looked up, and you get this little paper in the mail sometimes that shows how much Social Security's been held back, they've been taking money from me since I was 13 years old. That was when I first started, I'm sorry, 14 years old was when I first started working. And it was just as a small little, I was an umpire for a small, city league. But they were still taking Social Security out of my check from that time on up till now, and I'm a lot older than 13, let's just say that. And I know it's hard to believe, isn't it? I don't look a day over 25. Especially with these beautiful eyes. But anyways, that's another story for another day. The camera woman's shaking her head in total awe right now because she's just like, yes, he's so sexy. But anyways, I guess what we're trying to say, but besides trying to be funny, is trying to be serious too and tell people, you out there, you need to open your minds. You need to look outside your pigeonholes. You need to look outside your boxes. You need to think outside the box, especially when it comes to what these people are doing that way, in D.C., which is very close to where I'm at. Because these politicians, guess how many of them are on the Affordable Care Act? That's right, 0, none of them. Guess how, yeah, the president, is he on the Affordable Care? No, nope, he didn't have to be on the Affordable Care Act. And what happens in the Affordable Care Act in 2017 or around those parts? Well, from what we've seen in the legislation that, as Nancy Pelosi told us so eloquently at the time, well, you have to pass the bill in order to be able to read the whole thing. Excuse me? That's like saying, I want you to buy the car before you check the Carfax. I don't think so. But anyways, it wound up happening. We're stuck with it, as it were. And now, I believe it's around page 1000 in that department or that area, it talks about the RFID chip. No, that's not some DJ or some fancy name for something else. It is what it is. It's a microchip that they want to insert in all of us. Now, I've heard people talk on here about how the military will all be chipped by 2017, which that in itself, if you're in the military right now, that should send a chill down your spine. And it should make you think about something I'm going to talk about here in just a minute that will probably get me in trouble, but that's okay. I've said it before and I'll say it again. And if you don't agree with me, that's fine. If you do, amen, brother. Let's keep fighting. If you're in the military now, and I know some of my friends are, they may watch this video or may not, one of the oaths taken is to uphold and defend the Constitution. I would challenge you that your commander-in-chief has broke that direct order.
Multiple times.
Yeah, at least multiple times. And as a good military person, I believe it's our military's job to now overthrow our president. Yes, that's right, Darla. I know. It's scary, isn't it? It's one of our handles, Miss Darla. She's our mouser. She must see a mouse that she wants to go after. But our main goal needs to be to get rid of Barry, to get rid of the president, bring in a whole new regime. And when I say not just the president, I'm talking about the President of the United States, the United States Senate, and the House of Representatives. All three, every single one of them, whether they're good or bad, need to be thrown out and start from scratch. If they're good, then they'll get voted back in. If they're not, we'll get rid of them. That's the way I see it. And that's the way it needs to be. And everyone's like, I think, oh my God, that's total chaos. You know what? If enough people get tired of it, they're going to vote it out. I guess we got a little extra footage there, but that's okay. They're going to get tired of it, and they're going to get these jackalopes out of office, to put it nicely. Or as a good person that I don't agree with everything he says, but I do like when he calls them the Republicans and the Democrats, because they're both like gangs, and they've got their own gangs, and that's why one of the other things I was going to bring up is a third party candidate or a third person candidate. One of the things we need to do as Americans, as I said before, quit thinking inside your own box. Quit thinking like a Democrat, a Democrat or a Republican, and start thinking American first. Let's get an American in the White House that cares about America, and for lack of a better term, doesn't give a crap about the corporations, about the political parties, or agendas or about getting kickbacks whenever they get out of office. Let's get a real, true American in there. Is everybody, is anybody perfect? No, there's nobody perfect. But are there people that are going to try and do the best they can for our country? Yes, I believe there are. I believe there are still good people in this country. We just need to find them and encourage them to run for office. Maybe you're one of those good people, and you've just sat back and said, there ain't no way I want to get involved. Well, I'm challenging you now to find an arena where you can throw your hat in the ring, or you can back up whoever's throwing their hat in the ring and support them 110%. And I would also encourage you to think outside your party. I know there's a lot of people on here that are Republican, and some of them are even a few Democrats. And some middle-of-the-road thinkers who really, they don't care. And that's cool. My position or encouragement to you today is don't think about party first. Think about America first. Think about the best person for the position, and then make your choice. Okay? That's the best way to do it. Here in Maryland, it's run by a lot of Democrats. And this state, talk about taxes. How much does it cost to get your license in Maryland there, sexy camera woman?
$72.
Just to get the piece of plastic that says you're you and your address and all that good stuff.
It's not including tags, sticker, inspection, emissions. Oh, and the title thing.
Exactly. There you go.
The title thing is $138.
And that's just at the state level, folks. That's not even counting. But that's my point. See, we've gotten to the point where legalization, documentation, whatevermentation has taken over our country, and it's time for it to end. It's time for us to cut through the red tape and get back to basics. People always talk about how great our country is now. Well, how much better would our country be if we took the money we spend on over 400 plus military bases across the world and turn around and spend it on our own domestic economy? What if we took the billions of dollars that we're spending on foreign countries that don't give a damn about us and turn around and spend it on sheltering the homeless or feeding the starving in our own country? What a wild concept, huh? The problem is, it's called common sense, and D.C. has none of it. They have nothing but BC in D.C., and that's the problem.
Show me the money!
But anyways, that was pretty much, there is one more thing I wanted to talk about today, and I'll close with this. This will put a bright spot in your heart, probably. The National Defense Authorization Act has been reinstated since the beginning of the year. And I believe, just from seeing what's going on and how violent the debates have become and how vitriol and how, for lack of a better term, needy both parties have become, you're going to start seeing Americans being killed.
Ruh-roh.
I believe that with all my heart. I believe that's why Edward Snowden, who did, turn over information to the media about the NSA, is in Russia, because he knows if he steps foot in America, he's a dead man.
Yeah.
He won't just be in prison, they will kill him.
Mm-hmm. Make it look like an accident.
Exactly. He stepped on some major toes, and they're ready to do
We need more people like that.
Exactly. We need more people to step on toes. We need more people to get on here and do what I'm doing now and call a spade, and call evil, true evil, evil.
Might be time to get out of the United States, yo.
I don't think so. I'm not going to let them run me out of my country. And that's what we need to do. We need to make sure we don't let them run us out of our country. We put them in office. We're the boss, not them.
But it's harder to get them out of office, as you have witnessed.
Oh, yeah.
People have tried to get Obama out of office, and, well, he's got this little thing getting around things.
Well, the problem is, we've got two parties that are running everything right now. Pardon me, folks, it's been a long day. You've got two parties that are running everything, and there's no one that will stand up to those two parties. We as Americans need to say, to hell with both parties, and start a new party, an American party, or even a non-party.
Yeah.
We need to find a person that will run for president that is not Republican or Democrat, but is just American. You know? Doesn't matter who it is. I know I've jokingly and even half seriously thought about Jesse Ventura, but there's other people out there who would be probably a better candidate than him. But we need to encourage those people to do it so that we can put it in to the evil that's going on in Washington, D.C., because if we don't, not only are we doing a disservice to ourselves, if you have a child, a grandchild, a great-grandchild, or whatever, you are doing a disservice to them as well. And that's shame on you for letting it happen. Politics, yeah, it's a dirty word. People hate it. But you know what? Sometimes you have to, you know, it's like when you were a kid and you had to take that medicine to get better. Now, you didn't like it, but you went ahead and took it, and you felt better eventually. That's the way we need to be about politics. It's time to get our hands dirty, clean up the mess, and get the dirt bags out of office. That's all I have for tonight, but as we always close out, we make sure they know liberals, progressives, neocons, and anyone who goes against our country, you are on watch. You have been told what's going on, and we're putting you on full blast. It's I, the evil conservative, and just to make sure the boys know how I feel about them. There you go, NSA. Screw you, evil conservative. Out.
No fear.